Again, thank you all for joining. Today we'll be going over web meeting and what web meeting does, what it's used for, how it'll be best suited for you. So a little bit of an overview. It is fully integrated with our Ready Access audio conferencing. We like to streamline our products and give one set of login numbers for both the audio and the web. It's an easy-to-use interface. It includes tools to create, label, and publish podcasts. There are synchronized audio and web recordings, and it even includes an editable tool at the end where you can edit your recordings, which I love, and I'll kind of get into that in a little bit later. Broadcast audio is also available with event-type conferences. Broadcast audio is where the audio is played through the speakers. It is not a two-way conversation. It is just for participants to listen to the speakers. And this product supports up to 3,000 participants, 500 for application sharing, and I actually believe that was just increased to 800 this week. So why web meeting? It's a complete package at an affordable price. Really, it has all of the features and bells and whistles that you need without the cost that you'll find with a lot of other products out there. The ease of use and access. I can't tell you how many people, when we roll this out company-wide, that the adoption is so much quicker than other products because it is so easy to use. Really, when you log in, one screen, you look at everything that you need to do is right in front of you, so you're not searching around for different products and tools that you need to conduct your meeting. And there's a lot of sophisticated marketing tools. So it integrates with LinkedIn and Twitter and Facebook. So if you're a public company that likes to go ahead and post all your meetings online, it makes it really simple to do so. So we like to look at the product as 3 different sections. So pre-meeting, what you can do to set up your meetings. In meeting, what happens during your meeting, how do you share, what can you do, and post-meeting. What happens after the meeting's over, emails that go to your participants, surveys, things like that. So a couple of things I want to mention as far as pre-meeting. We have 2 ways to schedule meetings. One of them is through a plugin for Outlook and Google Calendar. So one click, you can go ahead and quickly schedule a meeting. But we also have a web meeting portal that allows for a lot of advanced options. So the advanced options include brandable emails, so you can actually upload your own logos and pictures and things like that. Customizable registrations. Many people use products other than the web meeting tool for advanced registration on their meetings. This kind of makes it easier to bring the registration all to one product. Email invitations, marketing campaigns, and again, that social media promotion that I talked about. During the meeting, what can you do during the meeting? Sharing applications and slides and desktop and granting control. One of the things that kind of sets us apart is going to be that audio integration. So seeing everybody on your audio call along with the web. So that's a nice feature that we have. Post-meeting, I mentioned a lot of them, surveys and emails that go out to your participants, and that editing tool on the recordings. Another great feature of ours is with the recordings, you can have registration. So even for the people who want to listen to the recordings, if you want to capture that information, that's all available. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the pre-meeting features, planning your conference. So the first one I mentioned, join a meeting instantly. So really quickly, right from your Outlook and or Google Calendar, one click, you can go ahead and join a meeting and quickly send an invite for participants to join and be in a meeting instantaneously. So it's an Outlook plugin, one-time download. You set up your information, and it will be available to you all the time. But then there's also the portal. So this is a snapshot of what our web meeting portal looks like. So this is actually the home page. You'll see that any time you want to have an on-demand meeting, again, if you don't have the Outlook plugin, quickly you can click on on-demand meeting and open meeting controls, or you can schedule a meeting. And you'll see here is a list of all of the meetings that you have scheduled. So at the time of the meeting, you simply click on the radio button and open meeting controls. But to schedule a meeting, very simply, there's a big button here that says Schedule Meeting, and that's how you can go ahead and schedule meetings. So I'm kind of going to go through that a little bit. So when you actually click on Schedule Meeting, there's going to be so many different options there. It's going to ask you for your basic information, obviously date and time of the meeting. But let's talk about some of the advanced features. So the first one being customizable registration page. So as I mentioned, when all of you joined my meeting today, you were asked for a certain set of credentials. You're probably your name, email, and company possibly. I forgot what I set it to. However, you can customize what specific information that you ask for your participants. And there's two ways to do that. You can have it where they register at the time of the meeting, or you can have it where they pre-register. And that's actually how I had this meeting set up. So you all got an invite, you go ahead and you registered, you sent your information, and I knew exactly who was going to be joining the meeting prior to the meeting happening. So today I knew I was expecting a certain number of people. That's why I got started when I did, because I saw all those people were on the meeting. So I love that option, and it's available to you at no charge. Social media tools, again, that one click is Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn is also available. It's not shown on here. In-meeting features. So let's talk about what can you do during the meeting. So I'm going to show you a quick screenshot of what you're seeing. So this is your participant interface. So basically whatever I am sharing on my screen, whether it be slides as I'm doing now, or an application or my desktop, so I can easily click on one button to go ahead and take you to the Internet Explorer or anything like that. That's what you're seeing on your screen. And then on the left-hand side of your screen, simply you're seeing the chat box, and you'll see that you also have a raise hand. So if anybody has a question, they would be able to click the raise hand, and I would see that on my screen. But that's what the participants actually see. As for me, as the chairperson, I actually see a screen that looks like this. So basically, just to go through it quickly, anything that I'm sharing as far as my slide is in the main portion of this screen here. So whatever slide that I'm showing you, that's in the main portion of my screen. Any slides that I previously uploaded or uploaded during the time of the meeting is going to run at the bottom of the screen. So I see all of my slides, and I can easily double-click on whichever one that I need. I can fast forward if I want to skip over slides, things like that. So it's all right in front of you. To upload slides, videos, polls, anything that you need to upload into the actual meeting room is going to be right down here. So to insert your slides into the meeting, one click, it will open up my hard drive, and I'll be able to click on the slide deck that I want to upload. A couple of things that I want to mention about this that's different from other products out there. This is your meeting room. So what that means is once you create a slide deck or polls or anything like that, it's actually saved in your meeting room from meeting to meeting until you delete that information out. And let me give a scenario where this is really cool. So for me, I'm doing demos on products all day, the same products every day. Every single time I have a meeting, I don't need to upload all those slides. They're in here. So I have multiple slide decks on different products already in my meeting room. So whatever particular slide deck I need to be sharing at the time of the meeting, I simply find it and I start sharing it. So it can house up to 200 slides for you. So there's no need to upload slides if you're doing the same type of meetings every single time you're having the meeting. To go ahead and click on next slides and things like that, or to advance your slides, there is an arrow button here, so next and previous. But as I mentioned, you can easily just double-click on a slide, and you'll see it pop to the main portion of the screen. The other part of the screen that I want to kind of go through is going to be at the top. So this is all of your function buttons. So easy. As I mentioned, you do not have to search for anything. One click does everything for you. So to start and stop the meeting, that's that first button here that you see. So it's a big green button at the beginning to start, a big red button to stop at the end. The second one over is going to be record the meeting. So for me, I recorded this meeting today. One click, I clicked record, a message came into the meeting that said the conference was being recorded, and it's simultaneously recording both the audio and the visual slides. So anything that I share with you will be simultaneously recorded. The next button over is Share Desktop. So at any point during the meeting, if I want to share my desktop, I click there and you'll be seeing that. When I click Share Desktop, that is any place I click within my desktop. So if somebody sends me an IM, my participants will be able to see that. If you do not want that to happen, the next button over is Share Applications. If there's a particular application you'd like to share, like Excel, Word, or maybe even just Internet Explorer, you click on that, and then if anything happens on the background on your computer, your participants will not be able to see that. It will be grayed out. The last button over that I want to talk about is Grant Control. What this allows you to do is give control to a participant to your application and or desktop. So one of the things that I like to point out is whiteboarding. So while there is no whiteboard particularly here, you can pull up a Word document, grant control to somebody, and go ahead and start making changes to an existing document or to a blank document. Also, if you're talking about some financial numbers and you pull up an Excel spreadsheet, you can go ahead and give somebody else control. They can make the changes they need, and you can save the document, which is nice. Now we're going to kind of give our attention to the left-hand portion of the screen, and that is actually the audio integration. I'm not going to get into that now, as I have a slide that kind of makes that a little bigger, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. So as I mentioned, shared applications or desktop, when I click it, it opens up all of the applications that are actually on my computer. I go ahead and pick which one I want to specifically share, and that's what my participants will see. Also available is enhanced polling. I happen to love the polling feature that we have. Really, it's fully customizable. So as I mentioned, if I have done a poll in the past, when I click on Insert Poll, I will see all of my past polls until I delete them, and or the option to create a new one. And when I create a new one, I can simply either, again, do that on the fly, or I can do that prior to the actual meeting. So right now, wherever I want to go ahead and insert a poll, I go ahead and click on it. And here we go. You guys now have a poll in front of you. I have the option to display the results to the participants or keep that information to myself. And I'm seeing as you guys are answering, I see a couple of responses came in. I'm not going to wait until everybody responds. I'm going to go ahead and close the poll and just show you that you can display those results to the participants. And I'm glad everybody's liking it so far. Thank you. And don't worry, I will open up for questions at the end of the session. So if you have anything, we will have time for that. So as I mentioned, that left-hand side of the screen, I was saving that for a little bit later. Here's the screenshot that makes that a little bit bigger. This is where you can actually manage your participants while you're in the meeting. So the top box is going to be all of the names, anybody who's on the the web portion of the call. So I can see everybody who's on, and if I wanted to go ahead and make somebody a co-presenter, all I need to do is go and right-click their name and appoint them to co-presenter. If I want to, demote them back to just a participant, I can do that as well. So all of my web participants are in that top box. The second box down is going to be all of my audio participants, everybody who's on the audio portion of the call. You'll see the example here. Again, a drop down as I click on the line, and I can mute that line. I can disconnect them. I can add them to my phone book. I can rename them if I want to know specifically whose line that is. I can give it a name instead of a phone number. What I really like about this is it also has this speaking icon. So whoever is speaking, you'll actually see the word speaking go next to their name. So in an instance where you're on a meeting and all of a sudden, somebody puts you on music hold or a dog is barking or something like that, I can stop talking, let that speaking icon go to the line that's making the noise, and I can quickly mute that specific line if I need to. Moving along, So as I mentioned, appointing co-presenters, again, all I did was right-click on their name, appoint to co-presenter. You also see the other options there. If they had their hand raised, I'd be able to lower their hand so that I know that I took their question. Grant control if I wanted to and give them control to any one of my applications, some of the things that I talked about. So the annotation and markup tools, kind of what I've been doing, kind of highlighting things, doing drawings, pointing to things, those are all located on the bottom right-hand side of your screen. So you'll see them right down here. Basically, you pick which one you want to use, and you would go ahead and start marking up your documents. One-click recording, as I mentioned, this is the greatest part of, for anybody who actually does do any type of recordings. Again, one click simultaneously integrates both the audio and the visual. So now let's talk about after the meeting is over. What are the things that you can do? So the first thing I had mentioned is that post-meeting survey. Fully customizable, you can add as many questions as you want there. At the end of the meeting, before the people are able to close out of the web, a survey will actually pop up on their screen. And again, you'll get all the results of that at the end of the meeting. When it's kind of nice, especially if you're doing any type of marketing or training session where you want to make sure that people are getting the most for their dollar out of the session. So this is a way for you to be able to track that. Follow-up emails, if there's a particular slideshow that you presented during your meeting that you'd like to automatically send to participants afterwards, you can set that up. Or maybe just an email, thank you for joining, and it will automatically go out to your participants. Again, that's all fully customizable. Meeting archive pages, this is where people will actually have the link to listen to the playback. Again, you can set registration for that as well, so anybody who listens to it, you could actually find out who those people were. Extensive reporting. This is a really cool feature as well. Anything that you do during your web meeting will create a report. So not only are the participants and registrations going to be one report, but polling is going to create a report. So if you do a poll, those 4 people who responded, I can pull up a report on that now after the meeting's over and find out exactly who you were and who the people who were that answered my poll. Also chat. If there was any chatting done during the meeting, that also creates a report. So somebody doesn't have to sit there and take down all of the questions that come in if you don't have time to answer all of them. The report at the end will have all that information for you. So I love that feature. The downloadable recordings, and there's a lot of different enhanced features here. So audio and visual, it's a Flash or MP4. If it's audio only, it can be MP3 or a WAV file. So this is when you record right in our web meeting portal. At the end, you will be able to pull up all of the recordings, and this is kind of a snapshot of what it will look like. So when you open up any particular recording, so this is an example of one that we actually opened. Let me just highlight it here for you. So this is this one that's called recording. It's just called recording. It's opened up. So once it's opened, here's all the different things that you can do with the recording. So I can rename it. I can edit it. I can download it. I can delete it. I can view a report. So that's basically anybody who's listened to it, things like that. On the right-hand side, I can share the playback URL. It creates an email for me to send to people to listen to it. And I can create a podcast, or I can go ahead and post it to, again, that Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn. So the social media tools, as I mentioned just now, and automated podcasting. So basically create a podcast where people are able to listen to it wherever and on whatever device they would like to. A couple of other high-level items that I kind of just want to address before I finish and open for Q&A. One of the things about this product that's really important is that it is Flash-based for PC participants. So anybody who is a participant on a PC, you will notice when you came into the meeting there was no download or plugin. For presenters and Mac users, it actually runs on Java, which is a standard operating system within a Mac. And for PC users, just simply java.com. Almost 99% of people already have it. But if for some reason you cannot be promoted to a presenter, just go ahead and update your Java. Also, this is available for participants on iPads, a one-time application app. When you try and join the meeting for the first time, it will ask you to download the app. Once it's on there, you're good to join meetings, so on and so forth forever. The other thing that we are creating that's not available yet is going to be iPod and iPhone, so that will be available soon enough. That's in creation. And the last thing that's also going to be, it's in beta right now, and it will be coming out in Q4 of this year, is going to be the webcam for video. So that will be coming. And now I would like to open it up for questions. Please feel free to unmute your lines if you're muted with *7 and go ahead with any questions.